speech assignment for Introduction to Public Speaking. This is my audience. Hello, my name is Michael Kugler, and I'll be going through the 4 major steps of straw particle board manufacturing. I've worked at our straw particle board manufacturing plant for about 4 years now and become fairly familiar with the process. Our particle board manufacturing is fairly unique in that we use agricultural straw as our particles. There's 2 other plants in the world that I know of. One's in the United States and the other's in China. The 4 major steps of the process is the refining, forming, pressing, and finishing. We'll start out with the refining. First, we break the bales apart. This is done with our shredders, and then it's sent to our hammer mill, which is a crude refiner that mostly is used so the material does not get plugged up. After it's been crudely refined, it's sent into our material silos where it sits until it's refined in our main refiner. Our main refiner will refine it down so that it will it's usable in our straw board. After the refining, it's dried. We want to keep a moisture content about 5 to 7%. We want this to be fairly consistent so that our board's properties are fairly consistent. The type of dryer we have is a belt dryer. There's many types of dryers that can be used for this process, but we have a belt dryer. Basically, the material is sent on the belt through the dryer and then at a certain speed where it's consistently dried. After it's been dried, it's sorted into surface, core, dust, and oversize. The dust is the smallest particle size, and it's sent back into our dust handling system, which is then used as our main fuel source. The next particle size is our surface. This is the second smallest size. This is basically just the surface of the board. The core is the other size. This is the middle of the board, and then the oversize is sent back through the process to be refined again. Next, the board gets formed. Basically, the surface goes down, the core goes down, and the surface goes down. After it's been formed, it's sent into our pre-press where it's pressed down and then trimmed off on the sides. Once this pre-pressing is finished, it's sent into our main press. The main press takes about 4 to 15 minutes on average, depending on board properties and thickness. Once it's been pressed, the board is then cooled. Cooling of the board takes not very long, but we like to cure our board for about 12 to 24 hours before sanding it. According to our plant manager, this is done so that the board does not swell or shrink after the sanding process. This brings us into our sanding. Our sanding is accurate up to about 5/1000 of an inch. Once the board has been sanded, it is then cut to size and then shipped to our customer. Some other things that we have to be aware of are the EPA and OSHA regulations, such as air emissions, stormwater, and waste management. According to the EPA website, the major pollution from the particle board manufacturer is from the pressing and drying processes, and this can be said the same for our process. And then for OSHA regulations, we want to make sure our training's up to date, our procedures are in place, and everything like that. I hope by listening to this speech that you learned a little more about the straw manufacturing process. This is my audience here.